Everybody knows about goals. A goal is something in the future, some kind of outcome that you want to make sure happens. So you can define your goal. I want something to happen. And then once you know what you want, you can design a plan around that goal. That seems easy. That seems intuitive. Get a goal, get a plan around that goal. Problem is, sometimes we don't know what's going on. Why do I want this goal? I once leased a brand new car when I had a perfectly good car that I liked. Why did I do that? Why did I have this goal of leasing a new car? It's because I fell for the Joneses. I was working with people who had fancy cars, and I felt like that's what I needed to do. So one thing that's really helpful is to, before you get to the goal, ask yourself why. What's my money for? And this is important because money is stressful. Money is the number one source of stress, especially for people in the West. And it's easy for us to know how much stress we feel. I know exactly how much stress I feel because I experience it. I feel that stress. I know exactly what it's like to be me. David Foster Wallace says we're all at the center of our own universe because everything experientially happens to us. Anything else needs to be communicated to us somehow. Which is to say that others' stress, we can't know that. We don't know how much stress other people have. We can't know what that is. So if I know how much stress I have, but I don't know how much stress you have, and worse than this, other people usually put out a front. They don't want to look stressed out. So you look like you have your stuff together. I know exactly how much stress I have. So I look to you and I say, well, you must have it figured out. I look to the Joneses. I look to social media. And I say, what are other people doing? Because I'm stressed out and they have it together. So I start to keep up with the Joneses. I do what other people are doing. And I compare myself to other people as well. But it's tough when you compare yourself to other people, one, but two, when you compare yourself to a curated version, the highlight reel of other people's lives of social media. That's hard to get ahead. And we're hardwired for this. We're hardwired to adapt to everything that we have. Psychologists call this hedonic adaptation. As soon as we get something, we move the goalposts. It becomes natural, becomes normal to us. So imagine you're sitting on these stair steps or these staircases, and you look ahead, and you look at this person. And naturally you think, this person's higher up than me. This person's got a better social position to me. Damn it. Right? That's tough. That's what happens when we don't know where we're going, when we don't have direction, when we don't understand the purpose of our lives or money's role in our lives. What kind of life do we want? Because when we zoom out, take a step back, we get to see that we've come a long ways. We're a lot better off than we think we are once we can zoom out. And to make this more clear, let's think about life. Put your life in years. If we give you a circle for every year of life that you can reasonably expect. This is a 90-year life expectancy. 10 years across the top, 9 rows going down. That's a 90-year lifespan. That's not a lot of circles. And you've lived a lot of those circles, but this is it. This is all that you have. How will you spend your circles? How will you spend the rest of your life? And if you keep the end in mind, recognize that you're lucky to be here. Now that you're here, you have this opportunity to experience life. It helps you cut through what you think you're supposed to be doing and focus on what matters. Author Bronnie Ware wrote a book called The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying. She was an end-of-life caregiver, and she had a lot of conversations with people. And what she noticed was, one, most people regretted some aspect of their life. And two, they kind of fell into 5 categories. So she wrote this book, a blog post first and then a book, and she called it The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying. These are the regrets that she noticed people have. Regret number 1 is, I didn't live a life that was true to myself. I lived a life that others expected of me. In other words, my life and my values were apart. 2, I worked too much, or I worked too hard. And I got to the end of my life where I didn't have the time nor the energy to enjoy this success if I was successful, or the success never came and I just worked at the expense of the rest of my life. I didn't have the courage to express myself. That means feelings went unexpressed, bottled up. I didn't have any self-expression. I didn't have any way to make my mark on the world, to say what I thought. I lost touch with my friends. We're social creatures and we need social connections, but what turns out innocent, that weekly lunch, becomes monthly and then yearly, and then I forget to even send a birthday card, right? We're social creatures, and as we look back, we wish we would have spent more time with our friends, and I didn't allow myself to be happy. I didn't realize happiness was a choice. I thought happiness would come eventually, as soon as, sort of contingent happiness. So when you can see these, she wrote this so that we can know what this is now. So we don't have to get to the end of our life to feel these regrets. We can see now if there's anything that we need to do. And then we can connect to our values, because we'll realize that when we do something we don't want to do, or something that we just think we're supposed to do, maybe that might get us ahead, but if somebody else is doing it and we're just copying them, there's no benefit to that. But if you value it, something that's really important to you, that's what you're going to look back on and say, I'd do it again. So to do so, I recommend understanding money's role in your life. I call this financial purpose. So what is money's role in your life? And you can do this and craft a financial purpose statement. Money's purpose in my life is to, money's role in my life is to, and then see what it is for you, not your neighbors, not anybody else, not your parents, not your coworkers, for you. And then you can run all of your financial decisions through the filter of your financial purpose. Is this something that I should do? And what this does is it gives you permission to use your money in a way that's important to you, your time and your energy. You see that some of these circles got through to the bottom. Those matter. We're not trying to cut off all spending. This isn't deprivation. This is intentionality. But the second thing it does is it cuts out all the things that are not important. It gives you the confidence to say, I don't care about that. Because once you can take your life and you can separate it from other people's values and say, I don't care really about that, and you can connect to your values instead, you've got a lot of confidence there. That's when you can live your life unapologetically and say, I do it again. You get one life. Live intentionally.